Meghan and Harry are thoroughly excited, happy and delirious at this latest, in their eyes at least, wonderful success. As ever though, let me explain. Morning, how are you? Nice to see you today, and as ever, thank you so much for joining me. Just a quick recap on this actually, because a lot of people were thinking, maybe hoping in fact, that the half-sister of Meghan Markle, yes, Samantha, well, she would of course have possibly won the next round through her legal case against her half-sister, Meghan Markle. What's interesting here really, when you think about it, is a lot of people are asking, well, what did go wrong and how on earth were they able to get this overturned? Now, the bigger problem is when you look at the judge in question, I would suggest that that has a massive impact. If you look into that particular person, you could say that perhaps there was something of a celebrity fan. As ever, we have to say allegedly. And no doubt at some point they will get a nice picture, possibly even a meeting, an invite to something from Harry and Meghan in the future. Again, allegedly. But really the turning point for Samantha losing her own case was simply this, and I said this during the time. She was simply being rather too vocal, still giving television interviews, still talking about her said case in detail, including apparently her lawyer on a YouTube chat show. Nothing wrong with that, that's his prerogative. But really, he didn't show anybody taking this particular side, this particular case rather seriously. Now, if, of course, Samantha had have maybe stepped back and not released so much information and not discussed it so much on, British news channels in the public domain, then I believe she may have been in with a better chance. The bottom line is now for Samantha, that is the end of the line. The only thing that she can now do is obviously use media platforms to get her story out there and reiterate what she feels is the wrongdoing from her once allegedly loving half-sister. It can't be taken back to court, it's been thrown out, and this really does leave her in something of a stalemate. As I said at the beginning of the video, it's going to be interesting for Harry and Meghan because they will see this as a real victory. And whether you agree with the story or don't agree, let's be honest, the true story remains between the two sisters. Only they know their real story behind closed doors. And I think what's interesting here is that all the while Samantha was pushing ahead with this particular rhetoric, and as I say, it has to be her version of events. A lot of people wanted to know where it would go suddenly, of course, if other areas of Meghan's early life would have been brought to fruition. Sadly, because of that now decision by the judge, it won't be the case. And for Meghan, as I say, her story tinkles on, with many people believing her version of events rather than Samantha's. As I often say here on the show, we are impartial, we have to present both sides, and you can only make as I often say here on this show, we are impartial and we have to present both sides. And as I often point out, it's not really for us to know unless it's out in the public domain. What we've been presented with are two sides of the story. And what you have to decide is, which side do you honestly believe? Did, of course, Samantha not have any early relationship with her half-sister Meghan Markle at the start of her early life? Or indeed, is Meghan telling the truth? Did she really not know Samantha at all, who wasn't much around while she was growing up in her early school years? It is a case closed, quite frankly, for Markle versus Markle. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.